Good evening, dear sisters and brothers. Welcome to the evening session of Being Heartful Every Day with Swadhyaya. As we gather once again in the quietude of the heart, let us first pause to acknowledge the journey we have walked together over the past week. Our theme was evolution and freedom that we had been discussing over the last few days, and it helped us reflect on how consciousness refines, expands, and gradually becomes free from its own limitations. We explored how freedom is not an escape from life but a natural flowering when the heart becomes purified and aligned. We recognized that evolution is guided not only by our effort, but by the subtle loving work of the Master within. That theme gently prepared us for what we begin today, a new exploration that takes us deeper into the structure of the inner journey itself. This week's theme draws from the chapter of Heartfulness Way Book 2, titled Map of the Journey, where Daji expands upon Babuji Maharaj's original revelations about the inner spiritual anatomy, the 23 circles, the realms of consciousness, and the journey toward the center, the original source. Just as a traveler benefits from a compass or a map, a heartfulness practitioner, an abhyasi, benefits from knowing the outline of the spiritual terrain. This map awakens reverence, patience, humility, and a sense of direction. Understanding the map of the journey is not an intellectual exercise, it is an awakening of perspective. Babuji Maharaj revealed the existence of vast inner regions of consciousness, subtle realms that stretch far beyond the mind's imagination. When an Abhyasi becomes aware of this inner geography, something profound takes place within. The heart develops reverence for the path and humility toward the magnitude of the divine work happening internally. One of the greatest gifts of this theme is that it helps us recognize the priceless role of yogic transmission. Because without yogic transmission, traversing these regions would take not just years, but many, many lifetimes. The map shows us that evolution is not linear but multidimensional, and that the master through transmission gently lifts us through states we could never reach by effort alone. This awareness deepens our appreciation for the practice and strengthens our trust in the method. It also brings clarity to the purpose of all that we do in heartfulness. Meditation is not merely to calm the mind or to feel peaceful. Cleaning is not just to lighten the heart, and prayer is not merely devotional. These practices are the tools that prepare us to the journey inward through layers of consciousness until we return to the center itself. When we understand this, our daily practice stops feeling mechanical. It becomes meaningful, sacred, and goal oriented. This theme also cultivates humility naturally. When we learn that there are 23 core sub regions within the heart, each with its own vibration and subtlety, we realize how limited our perception is and how much grace is needed for true transformation. And humility arises not out of weakness but out of wonder. We begin to approach the Master and the path with deeper respect and genuine surrender. The map of the journey inspires perseverance. The inner journey is long and subtle, often invisible to the mind. Knowing that vast inner territories are yet to be explored gives us strength during difficult phases, reassurance during dry periods, and enthusiasm during moments of expansion. It becomes clear that every meditation, no matter how ordinary it feels, contributes to the soul's movement through inner realms. Finally, this theme reminds us that spiritual progress is guided and not achieved. We do not climb the subtler regions through personal effort. We are carried, we are lifted, we are guided by the Master's presence and love for us. Our only responsibility is to remain sincere, faithful, receptive, and aligned. Understanding the map shifts our posture from striving to surrender, from doing to becoming, from effort to receptivity. And in that receptivity, the true journey begins to unfold. Dear sisters and brothers, as we move forward in the session and as we begin this new theme, let us also share the beauty of this journey with the others by inviting them to explore heartfulness through the master classes and the BHED sessions. Every heart we bring closer strengthens the collective field of evolution and remembrance. We will do our inspirational reading, and this is from the Whisper. Beloved Master, revered Babuji Maharaj, whispers from the brighter world. Monday, January 11th, 2016, 10 a.m. It takes time to understand where the essence of a life lies. Sage Mark, this way of the heart, helps one become aware of the need to advance spiritually in this particular area, namely the opening of specific points that foster a real progress of the subtle being. In this, the work goes to what is essential. With time, our abhyasis become familiar with certain important rituals capable of opening up broader horizons. The opening of the heart in these specific points remain the hallmark of this exceptional spiritual journey. These messages are not trivial, although they don't provide startling revelations as some of our aspirants would wish. One's progress is nevertheless supported by the daily reading of these writings, which are bearers of our energies. This principle is not yet well understood, but the results are there. We can evaluate them, you can be sure. A half century of hindsight is more than sufficient to measure the effects. May all become truly aware of this work, which is far more beneficial than it appears. Our dear son, Kamlesh, will leave a considerable mark on this way, which is capable of adapting to present times and anticipating the needs and demands of tomorrow. He will foster spectacular growth through new provisions aimed at facilitating the work of each Abhyasi and preceptor. Sahaj Mark started off modestly, simply, to one day shine and carry hearts to the highest level. This enthusiasm is not hollow. That reality is already taking shape in the highest heavens. Babuji Maharaj. Dear sisters and brothers, let us take a few seconds, a few moments to allow the wisdom of the words that we have read from the whisper to settle in our hearts. We will now offer the universal prayer. All brothers and sisters are being filled with love and devotion, and real faith is growing stronger in them. सभी भाई बहन प्रेम और भक्ति से भर रहे हैं और उनमें सच्ची श्रद्धा दृढ़ होती जा रही है. May our inner journey be guided by clarity and grace. And may the map of consciousness inspires humility, wonder, and dedication. Dear sisters and brothers, as you rest tonight, take a few moments to reflect softly that how has your understanding the purpose of the journey deepened your sense of direction. And as you approach your practice with sincerity, openness, and willingness, are you allowing yourself to be fully guided? And offer these reflections inwardly to beloved Master. Before you rest and go to sleep, take a few more minutes to offer the bedtime prayer with sincerity, acknowledging any shortcomings, repenting gently, and resolving not to repeat them again. Dear sisters and brothers, thank you for joining this evening session. And as we begin this new theme of Map of the Journey, may our hearts awaken to the vast beauty of the inner path, and may our consciousness deepens in the subtlety and receptivity. We look forward to your presence for the morning session tomorrow at 6 a.m. Until then, wishing you all a very good night and a good rest. Thank you.